Hey everyone, hope you're doing great. And today we're going to be talking about the 3 red flags of poor health. These are the things that you want to monitor, you want to watch, because it could mean something serious is obviously developing. My name is Dr. Sandy, bring practice in chiropractic. I've just completed 25 years, going into my 26th year. Me and my team have been blessed with multiple awards. We're incredibly grateful because we always focus on our patients and helping them at the highest level. So let's just jump into it. So I want to start this conversation by saying um, these red flags, these are not things that you get once in a while. These are things that are ongoing. They keep showing up again and again. And what I believe is that the human body is amazing, it's intelligent, and it's always giving us feedback. It's letting us know if we're doing good things or bad things, or it has a built-in warning system. It has an alarm system, and it's always trying to talk to us. And in the beginning, and I've heard this analogy that the body will whisper to you when there's a problem, but if we don't hear the whispers can turn into screams. And I thought that was a powerful analogy, and I really believe that, especially just seeing all the people I've worked with. The typical patient will come to me and say, yeah, I've had this health issue. It wasn't a big deal in the beginning. It was once in a while. I would kind of rest, I'd kind of stretch it out, and it's just gotten more frequent, it's intensified, and that's how the body works. It tries to get your attention, and if you don't pay attention, things fall apart. We lose dysfunction. So let's jump into it. So what are the 3 red flags? So number 1 is chronic pain. So again, I want to clarify, this is not the kind of pain where, you went to the gym after a long time, you helped your friend move and you're sore for a day or two and it's gone. That's your body adapting to the situation. And if you feel better after that, that means, you're probably fairly healthy. It's one thing to look at. But I'm talking about if you have chronic pain that keeps showing up in the same area. Like some people will say, I don't know why, but I have this pain that always shows up in the neck at least twice a week. I have a constant headache. I have pain in the shoulder, Dr. Sandy. I have pain in the lower back, the hips or legs, whatever it is. There's a certain body part where the intensity is kind of the same. It's showing up, and then over time it's just getting more frequent, and then that intensity increases, and it's always kind of the same zone. That is a sign that there is something wrong and you have to take care of it, because I'm telling you from experience, by working with so many people, most people, unless they get into an accident, that's another extreme, but for most people it's always kind of like, no big deal, I'm getting this pain, I'll get through it, I'll put some cream, I'll just take a painkiller, whatever, and let's deal with it in the future. And I really think when we don't listen to symptoms, it's kind of like going in debt. So if someone is not in control of their finances, they're like, I'll just put it on a credit card. One day you're going to have to pay that credit card. It's going to catch up to you. And the same thing with your health. If you keep ignoring it and those minor symptoms that you're not addressing, they just get bigger, and stronger, until one day it could be like you can't go to work. You can't get up from the ground because you're in so much pain. That headache is just so intense that you're like, I know we had a party this weekend, I'm going to have to skip it. Or that, it may even get to the point it may affect you even traveling, something like that. So my advice to you is that if you have chronic pain showing up in the body, look into it. What is your body trying to say? Why is it asking for help? But it should be professionally assessed. But if you have constant pain that keeps showing up, and if anything, it's intensifying, definitely get it investigated. And then some people are like, well, I have that pain, but I'm managing. I'm going to also tell you from experience, man, that pain 9 times out of 10 will probably intensify at some point. Your body's trying to manage, and then at some point it's just going to get worse. So we want to be proactive with our body. The body is amazing. It's forgiving. And yes, it can, heal with time. But if you let chronic pain go, and you are ignoring those signs, it can lead to chronicity. And long-term, if you really don't listen to the body and you're not listening to these signals, it can just cause long-term damage, and then you're stuck with it. It becomes permanent. So we want to be in tune with the body. We want to be diligent. We want to be on top of things. So when we have pain that keeps showing up in the body, it needs to be professionally assessed. Number 2, which I think is a chronic issue, and it's happening to tons of people, is the chronic low energy. So there's a lot of patients who come to us, and I just think a good portion of the population is tired. And some people might resort to changing their diet, which I think is actually a good thing, looking at eating healthier foods. They might even sometimes resort to an energy drink or something like that to get that little pep. They might be drinking a little more caffeine, more teas and coffees because they're just so tired. And they know that maybe it's not good to have so much caffeine, but they're like, well, it keeps me going, right? But again, just like having pain in the body, we have to step back and ask, like, what's going on? Why am I always feeling tired? And again, I'm not talking about you had a late night, you went to your friend's wedding, you didn't have enough sleep one night, you're tired. I get it, that makes sense. But if you're chronically tired, if you're always having trouble getting up in the morning, that also needs to be investigated. And I can tell you that when the body is not working the way it should, you will be tired, you will be exhausted, and you might be confused. You might be saying, like, I try to exercise, I try to eat good, why am I still tired? It doesn't make sense. But having low energy is something that should be also professionally checked. It should be investigated, especially if it's ongoing, because again, it'll probably get worse with time. And then the last thing, which I think is very much related to energy, is chronic sleep problems. There's a lot of people out there, and I've talked to my patients as well, where they can't fall asleep, and if they do, it's a broken sleep. They're getting up. Now, sometimes it is because of pain in the body, which is why the pain should be taken care of. But sometimes there's no pain. They just can't sleep. They are not sleeping well. And again, this might be overstimulation in the body. There might be other things going on. But if you really ask me, at the end of the day, a healthy person should be pain-free. They feel good most of the time, like over 90% of the time they're feeling great. They're high energy and they sleep well. I think these are the things that I would see in someone who's healthy. And then on the opposite end, if someone's always in pain, if someone's always tired, and they're always having trouble sleeping. And imagine this interesting thing I've seen too. Some people are so tired and they still can't sleep. There's something obviously off with the system. So looking at all these indicators, these 3 red flags, what do we do from there? So first, let's talk about some solutions. So if you're having chronic pain, of course, you want to assess what's going on. Look at your work environment. Look at your lifestyle. Is there something you're doing that keeps bothering the body? Yes, you want to start stretching. You want to make sure you're getting enough rest. Depending on the situation, some people may use ice packs, heat packs. It depends on the person, whatever they do. Another thing is that if someone's always tired, the first thing I would always say is that definitely look at your sleep schedule. And are you under a high level of stress? Stress will obviously affect the body as well. Pain takes energy away from the body as well. So you want to look at those departments. Sleep, I would definitely say right off the bat, if you're having trouble sleeping, look at your caffeine consumption. Caffeine can play a role with sleep issues. Again, look at your stress levels. And then what do you do before you go to bed? Now, we live in a time where people are on their phones a lot. They're using computers, which is stimulation. So you want to look at things to help with the pain, the low energy, but also with sleep. Again, being aware of going to bed at a good time, trying to shut off any stimulation from a phone or screen time. So looking at those things. But if you're still suffering with those things, I would highly, highly recommend that you look at your spine and nerve system. Your spine and nerve system is literally the bridge between the brain and body. And if those systems are not working well, if they're not in harmony, if they are not balanced, we start to have problems in the body. So if there's misalignments in the spine, that can cause pain. So misalignments in the top area, that can actually cause obviously neck pain, maybe headaches, even dizziness. Base of the neck can go into the arms, hands, and shoulder. The middle of the spine can go to the mid-back, into the shoulder blades. Lower spine, if it's misaligned, back pain, even into the hips and legs. So the spine definitely should be addressed. If the body is in that chronic pain, as I mentioned before, it can cause energy issues, obviously. And then you want to have a system that's healthy. So we have nerves that are going to the lungs, nerves that go to the heart. That would be optimized if the nerve flow to those areas are working the way it should. So we want the best energy. Digestion, I've also seen, if digestion is not good, if someone has constant gas and bloating, obviously you don't feel good, that can potentially affect energy as well. Also in this top area, if there's any misalignments, that can also affect sleep quality. There's certain nerve transmitters, there's nerve function over here that can affect sleep. So that's something to be looked at. And I guess if I say these 3 red flags, the worst scenario would be if someone has all 3, where they're just always in pain, always tired, and they can't sleep. To me, that's just horrible. That is not good. So I would encourage you, if you listen to this, look at your lifestyle. But if you have questions, reach out to us. The name of our office is Powerflow Chiropractic. My name's Dr. Sandy. If you just have some general questions like where do I even start, I just got some questions. You can call us at 905-896-3393. The other thing you can do as well, we do offer people a free spinal checkup. So we take your history, we have a special software that analyzes the spine and the nerve system, and we can tell you how this critical part of the body, probably one of the most critical parts of the body, we're talking about the central nerve system, how it's operating, is it affecting your health, can chiropractic help you? So that's something we offer our patients as well. So call us, 905-896-3393. Visit us on the web, gopowerflow.com. And then if you're ready to take the next step for you or someone you care about, call our office. You can book a free spinal checkup. We'll sit down with you. We'll do an analysis. We'll let you know, can we help you? Can we not help you? What options do you have? But we are here to serve. So I hope this helped you. Please, if you're having any of these symptoms, get on top of it. Get it looked at. You want to take care of yourself because investing and putting time and energy in your health is critical. It affects you professionally, personally, on every level. It's everything. So God bless. I'll be here with another video again, and I wish you all the best.